First of all, take the earphones out.
Yeah,
Put the phone away.
that's a great
And
advice.
be present. Read American news. Learn a little bit about American sports. Right?
Yeah.
Those are going to be the topic of conversation.
Yes.
Just to be those icebreakers.
Right.
I think through no fault of their own, the Indian students can be a little shy.
Yeah.
Just trust themselves. They've done a lot to get to the United States. We do Holi, we do Diwali, we do Chinese New Year, right? We take it to baseball game. Relying on AI, ChatGPT in particular, for your assignments. You really speak from the heart. This is your dream. This is your passion. If you have any issues, or if you want me to speak in a larger group, which I do, it just starts with hello. My name is. Well, dal makhani is my favorite.
Dal makhani.
But a dukla, masala, a dosa.
Masala dosa.
So
yes, sounds
look,
good, yes.
I've been eating my way through India. It's been fantastic.
Fantastic.
Canada limiting the number of students. The
Australia
UK
same
is
thing.
limiting job opportunities. The United States is still the best option for anyone in the world to come and do any type of a degree.
Hello, Namaste. Welcome to Abroad Gnan Guru podcast, and this is the amazing information we are going to share today. We have an amazing guest on my podcast, Mr. Tom Kelley. He is an Associate Operation Director at the Cleveland State University Global, and he has amazing information about the Cleveland State University. The students, if you are planning to study in USA, this is the must go podcast for you. If you are parents and planning to send your kids to USA, and if you have a daughter and planning to send your daughter to USA and you are concerned about the safety and security, I think we have covered everything in this podcast. If you are students and planning for US student visa interview, and if you are curious what kind of question you are getting, how to answer those questions, this part is also covered in this podcast. I must say this is the must watch podcast for all the students, all the parents who are planning to study in USA. And also, if you would like to do a nursing in US without maths, this is the amazing programming, amazing information is coming in this podcast. So please watch this podcast till the end, because you will get lots and lots of information. Also, there is one humble request I would like to have. Please sit with the pen and paper, because we are discussing lots of things about the Cleveland State University requirement, what skills are required, what are the top 3 programs. It is going to help you to short down your best program. At the end, thank you so much for your love and support and the subscriber which we are getting on our channel. Also, please comment which other university you want to see on my podcast, because we are bringing lots and lots of universities on our podcast and trying to solve your problem, trying to solve the parents' problem. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. The amazing program is just waiting for you. Welcome, Tom, on my podcast and Abroad Gnan Guru. We are sharing lots and lots of information about the abroad educations, and also today we are going to share about the Cleveland State University, which is a fantastic university in the Gujarat market and most affordable university I can say about
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah. Very happy to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Could you please introduce yourself and share what your roles as an academic director at the Cleveland Global?
Sure. My name is Tom Kelley, and I'm the Academic Operations Director at Cleveland State Global. I've been in the field of international education for over 20 years. I'm from Ohio, and I've lived and worked in Europe in this sector for quite some time. My role mainly, really, is to support students through the program academically, culturally, socially, and to provide strategies to support the partnership between Shorelight and Cleveland State University. I love my job. I love what I do, and me and my team are dedicated to the overall academic success of our students.
Okay. I have a question, like how does the Cleveland State University support the international students?
Well, I think a lot of the support starts pre-departure, with information sharing, webinars, and just being accessible to answer the questions that students have about the academic system, the finances, how am I going to eat, where am I going to live. So I think it starts there, but then once they get to campus, having a very robust intentional orientation program.
Okay.
Right? Building trust with the staff, meeting other students. I think that's where things all start. But as the academic term begins, it's working with them on a schedule that is suitable, that's aligned with their academic needs. And that's, meeting with the students one-on-one.
Oh,
you
okay.
know,
I think there's a great support you are providing to the international students.
Yeah. But that support is ongoing, and whether it's an undergraduate student or a graduate student, the approach and the philosophy is the same. It's to be there present when they need you.
Mhm. And how can you differentiate Cleveland State University with the other university?
Well, there are a lot of good universities
Yeah, lots of
in the
good
U.S. and the world. Cleveland State, I think, and this is our talk about the city of Cleveland, of being, a truly authentic American city. It's an American experience. It's a mid-size American city, and that's kind of where I start the differentiation, right? It's a metro area of about 2 million people, 15,000 students at Cleveland State University.
15,000 students?
15,000 students
Wow.
at the university, 2,000 international. So it's a very diverse student population. Cleveland, it's more affordable.
Okay.
It's amazing access to the rest of the country. It has all four seasons.
Yes.
I think students from overseas, like to be here for the winter time and the summertime. And Cleveland has a lot of nature.
Yes.
It has a great lake,
Right.
So we just encourage students to engage with the campus and the city, and so it has the city experience and the academic focus of a campus.
Okay. And how about the companies? Like, can you share like couple of companies' headquarters in Ohio or maybe in the Cleveland?
Yeah, absolutely. Cleveland State University is one of the top 100 universities in the country for OPT placement
Okay.
rates, right? I was surprised when I saw that.
Yeah.
And as I was preparing for my trip here, and that's, huge. So it's an emerging IT hub. Companies like Amazon, Intel, Oracle are based in Cleveland. But I think the biggest selling point for students that come through Cleveland State University is to engage with the healthcare system.
Okay.
The Cleveland Clinic, it's the number 2 rated hospital system in the world.
Oh, okay. The
Okay.
healthcare programs or healthcare clinics.
Yeah, because they need computer science graduates, information systems graduates to help, develop and support their apps that patients use to track their appointment times, their medications, right? The security of these apps. So we have a lot of success with the city's biggest employer, which is the Cleveland Clinic.
Okay. So can you tell me a little bit more about the Cleveland Clinic? Like, what courses you guys are offering at the Cleveland State University, which can help Cleveland Clinic?
Yeah.
Or like what kind of resources you are supplying to Cleveland Clinic from Cleveland State University?
Yeah, well, we can start with the undergraduate level, our nursing program, right? So students would start in pre-nursing, and if they maintain a 3.0, they enter into the nursing program straight
Okay.
away, which has placements at the Cleveland Clinic, right?
Wow.
So
Nursing is the first thing.
nursing would be, yeah. I mean that's a direct connection with
Yes.
the Cleveland Clinic, and then at the graduate level, the Masters of Computer Science would, if you want to specialize in AI or cybersecurity, that's a great fit for an OPT experience at the clinic, and the Masters of Information System, which is in our School of Business,
Yes.
which is an AACSB accredited business school, and database management,
Yes.
patient records,
Right.
scheduling, all that is very applicable with the Masters of Information Systems.
Okay, I have one important question for you.
Okay.
In India, lots of students are doing 12th PCB, like 12th physics, chemistry and biology. They doesn't have a maths in their course curriculum. And if they would like to pursue a nursing degree at Cleveland State University, can you show me a step-by-step process to become a nursing at Cleveland State University?
Yeah, well, first, you have to have an application where you're equivalent of a 3.0, right? So that's really important. all students coming into Cleveland State University at the undergraduate level have to do a math placement test.
Okay,
right?
so okay. The question is like without maths, you are still accepting the student
Sure.
in nursing program, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. The
Without
students,
maths.
if you like to apply to nursing program at the Cleveland State University without maths, this is the amazing informations and it is amazing news for you. And if you want to know about this program, comment Cleveland into chat box and we will provide you entire details. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So you would get through the first year and then maintain a 3.0, and then you would be right into the nursing program. So,
Okay.
So yeah, math is not required, right? But
Okay.
You will be doing some math during your first year.
Okay. And like is going to add a cost in a tuitions or it's coming along with the same tuition fee?
No. That's right in the same. That's right embedded into the course, right? So
Okay.
that's not a prerequisite. It's
Okay.
nothing extra.
Okay.
That's just part of the course.
Okay, and like after completing the Bachelor of Nursing examinations, what will be the process to become a registered nurse at the Cleveland State University or to become a registered nurse at the United States?
Yeah, well, once you get the degree, you are qualified to sit the boards, right?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't become a registered nurse after you get the degree, but you could qualify
Yeah.
for it. So you would need to be accepted by the state of Ohio,
Okay.
or if you were are looking for to live and work in another state. Right?
Okay,
So
okay.
you would have to pass their
Nursing
their-
examinations.
Exactly.
Okay, I think that then I want to break it down in a very clear way that if
Yeah.
you have completed the 12th PCB, you
Yeah.
can still apply to Cleveland State University without maths for the nursing program. It's a 4-year program,
Yeah.
and after completing this bachelor program, you have to give a license examinations of the Ohio State, right?
There you go.
And then after completing the examinations, you are qualifying for the registered nurse, and you can get the job easily, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And
Okay.
I mean, you'd be very competitive with a nursing degree from Cleveland.
Okay,
State.
and can you share like how tough is the registered nursing examinations? How's the license examinations? Any insight?
Well, I mean, I can't really speak specifically about that. I wouldn't have much experience, but if you have a nursing degree from Cleveland State, you'll be very well prepared. And students that come through the CSU program are employed in the healthcare sector all throughout
Oh, okay.
Northeast Ohio.
Great. Okay. Now, as you mentioned, there is a lots of as you mentioned about the healthcare program. Can
Yeah.
you give me a top 3 healthcare program at CSU in undergrad?
Well, there's nursing. There's no pre-medicine, so
Okay.
biology and biotech,
Okay.
right? So those 3. I mean, there are a few others, but if I had to give top 3, that's what they would be.
Okay. And okay, now the same questions I would like to ask you, like if any students completed 12th PCB in India and if they would like to do a Bachelor of Biotechnology at Cleveland State University without maths, is it possible?
Well, yeah, it's possible. I mean, the application would, it might have to have a subjective review, right? So that might take a little bit longer.
Okay.
But all incoming students into Cleveland State, whether they've had math or not, they do have to they complete a math placement test,
Math placement
and
test.
that determines what level of math they're placed into for their first academic year.
Okay.
Right?
The math placement test they have to give before getting the visa or before getting the
No.
admissions or after reaching to the university?
After admissions, before
Okay.
you start your classes.
Okay, that means like student got the visa, they
Yeah.
will land at the Cleveland State University
Yeah.
and they will give the exam over there.
Exactly.
And then you will decide whether the student is qualifying for the advancements or the basic maths.
It just depends on how they do in the math placement test.
Okay,
That will
okay.
determine the level.
Okay.
Right.
And does it cost anything to students?
No, totally free.
It's a free,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, can you give me a top 3 STEM program at Cleveland State University for undergraduate students?
Well, yeah. The math. For undergraduates, it'd be most likely computer science, right? Biology, and physics.
Okay.
Okay, and if the student is looking to pursue a master's program, right, at at Cleveland State, they can do an undergraduate and a master's degree in 5 years.
Okay.
That's called our accelerated degree program, okay? And we have many options in the STEM field. So if the student is really motivated and wants to get their undergraduate and their master's in the United States, that's a quicker and cheaper option to get that done in 5 years.
In the 5 years, okay.
Yeah.
Question I would like to have for you is like, what will be the tuition cost for undergraduate student at Cleveland State University? Because all the parents in India always concerned about the tuition fees and tuition, and they always have a like understanding that the studying in USA is very costly. They
Sure.
have to spend 1 crore and maybe 1.5 CR.
Sure.
Let's talk the real number from Tom right now. Yes.
Yeah, well, I don't have it totally right in front of me.
Yeah,
right?
that's fine,
And
yeah.
it can vary.
It can vary, yeah.
But roughly for the first 2 semesters of undergraduate at Cleveland State, it's roughly 33,000.
32,000, okay.
And that would include the tuition. Housing is mandatory for the first 2 semesters for undergraduates.
Okay,
So that's
okay.
included. And the meal plan is also mandatory and included with that as well.
Okay.
And the 12-month health insurance.
Okay, in 33,000,
Yeah,
it's like a meal plan is included.
yeah,
Housing is also included.
yeah,
1 year tuition fee is also included.
yeah,
And plus insurance,
correct.
right? I think there's a
So
great
that's a good deal.
opportunity. Yeah, that's a great opportunity.
So I mean, it's a lot of money, but
Yes.
when you compare it to programs across the United States or even outside of the United States, that's pretty good value for money.
Yeah, that's true. Like if you talk about 33,000 US dollar, and if we can convert into the Indian rupees, is approximately it's like a 24 lakh rupees annually, and you will get the meal plan, you will get the accommodation of 1 year, your tuition fee is already covered. I think it's a great opportunity for all the students who are looking at the affordable options at USA, because Cleveland State is very affordable university. Now I know you have a questions about the scholarship, and
Yeah.
I'm going to ask the same question to Tom. Does your university provide scholarship?
Absolutely. We only want the best students. So the advice is apply early, be organized, and plan, right? Our undergraduates, we offer up to $5,000 per year scholarship.
And
right?
it's a renewable or without renewable?
That's every year. So over 4 years, that could be valued up to $20,000.
Okay.
That's great.
$5,000 scholarship each and every year, and
Up to, yeah, I
up
mean,
to 5,000.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So which if you talk about in Indian rupees, it's like 20,000 US dollar means 16 lakh rupees you will going to save in 4 years if you are going to apply to Cleveland State University for the bachelor program. Now, there is lots of myth going in India right now about the SET examinations for undergraduate students. Like, does SET examination is required at the Cleveland State University for undergraduate admission?
No, it's not. But it's an option. The SAT or the GRE can be taken, right? And depending on how you score, you could be exempt from the math placement test.
Okay.
Okay, so that would be
that's
kind of
good one.
the main reason to do the SAT
Right.
or the ACT. Excuse me, I think I might have said GRE.
Yeah, okay,
So,
yeah, ACT.
So any of those standardized testing, it could help a student or make them exempt from taking the math placement test.
Okay. And also I have heard that, and even the parents have a same question all the time. If my kids is giving SAT or ACT examinations, they will get the more scholarship. Is it a reality or the myth?
I mean, that can go into the deciding factor as we're assessing scholarship, but I think that to be more competitive for scholarships is to apply early.
Okay.
Right? Because we have the pool of money, and it gets less and less as we get closer to the application deadlines.
Okay.
So yeah, you can throw in the SAT, and that might make you more competitive. And I would only include it if you have a really good score, right? But that's not necessary. I think getting your application in as soon as possible is what will make you the most competitive.
Like, what's your advice to the international students? How early they can apply to Cleveland State University?
I mean, really, as early as they have all their academic records, their English language testing, ready to go. And once they get that conditional offer letter, which we turn around in 1 or 2 business days, then they just make that deposit. I would say, and you also want to get it in early, so you're more likely to get the visa appointment time, because it's very random, and you want to be ready to go. So I would say, even 3 months before a program start is not too early.
Okay. And I have a questions for 12th grade students, right? In India, lots of students are doing a 12th PCB and PCM, and their final examination is already over, right?
Yeah.
Now, if they are in school, they can still apply to a university.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So anything, their projected marks or grades, that's not going to stop them from applying.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So get the application in. It's not stopping you.
And also there is a one misconception that on the predictive score you will not give the scholarship. Is it correct?
No, I mean we will. Sorry, could you just maybe ask that again? Sorry.
No,
I don't understand.
if student has submitted the 12th predictive score,
Yeah, the predictive score, right.
do you still give them a scholarship?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
students, I
yeah,
think
yeah.
if you have submitted
Yes.
the,
If that's a misconception,
Yeah, that's a
let's
miscon-
clear that up now. Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
The student, like you are thinking that you are in the 12th grade and you are submitting a predictive score, then you will not get the admission. No, that's a misconception. Even you not get the scholarship, that's also a misconception, because in the Cleveland State University, you will get both combo together and also the scholarship worth of $5,000. That's an amazing offer for all the students who are doing who are planning to study in USA. And if you want to know more about Cleveland State, comment Cleveland into chat box and we will provide you entire detail.
Love it. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now, let's move to undergraduate English language requirement.
Yeah.
Can you share your English? Can you share the Cleveland State University undergraduate English language requirement?
Yeah, sure. So I mean, we take most of the major testing. IELTS 6.0, Duolingo 105, right? ITIP Academic Plus 3.8. I recommend looking into the ITIP Academic Plus because you can do that purely online and remotely. So that's kind of a new thing in the market, and there's a discount if you come through the Shorelight program for ITIP Academic Plus.
Yes.
Right. So those are the major, exams. Off the top of my head, I don't know the TOEFL or the PTE, but they're comparable, and it's a little bit lower than some other American universities. Now, if you get a 5.5 IELTS or equivalence, you would qualify for our pathway program.
Pathway program,
right?
yes,
So
yes,
just if you get a 5.5, keep pursuing the opportunity. The pathway program would put you on 2 semesters on campus doing credit-bearing courses until you're ready to start the undergraduate program in semester 3.
Okay. And I want to clear it out. Like for the English language test, you accept the Duolingo, ICHEP, TOEFL, PTE, and home-based TOEFL as well, and IELTS, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think all the examination is accepted at the Cleveland State University for UG program. The amazing questions I have and the questions most of the student ask our counselor and to our company is like, do you accept the medium of instruction for admission at the Cleveland State University?
Depends.
Okay.
Okay. If the country of origin and if English is the official language, like if it's the UK, right, or if it's Canada, right, we would the English language would be exempt, right?
Okay.
But for all other applicants, no, it is a requirement.
Is requirement. Okay, it's a mandatory student. So if you are planning to apply to Cleveland State University, as Tom said, medium of instruction is not accepted for undergraduate degree. I have a similar questions on the same level. Medium of instruction accepted in the grade program or not?
Same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same process. Yeah. You have to do that English language testing.
Yeah, means if you like in the Cleveland State University, if you're planning to pursue a master degree, medium of instruction is not accepted. You have to go through the English language requirement. And if you want to learn more about the English language test, comment language into chat box and we will provide you entire detail, as we have a free IELTS PTE Duolingo course for all the students. Now, can you share what's your go-to hack for India student to settle in Cleveland quickly?
Be confident that all the food needs are there, right? I like to compare Ohio, where Cleveland is located, the state, to Punjab. It's very agriculture, a lot of farming.
Okay.
So you get comfortable with shopping, getting all the food they need. Get in touch with nature. It's nicknamed the Forest City. because
Okay.
it has parks and green, and it has the lake. And I think the main thing is to get to know domestic students as quickly as possible.
Yes.
Join clubs, societies, sports groups,
Right.
Ask questions in class, right? So you need to expand your comfort zone a little bit and just reach out and get to know Americans. Ohioans, Clevelanders are so friendly.
Okay.
They're so open. They are very accepting of these students. So
Right.
I would say from day one, go out there and start meeting people.
Yeah, but I think most of the time when international students are traveling abroad first time, they always feeling hesitate to talk to
Sure.
stranger,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
And how like they feel like how I can take to somebody on campus,
Yeah.
maybe an American or maybe a Canadian or maybe a Nigerian.
Yeah.
Can you give us some hack how international student can interact to their classmate with the different originality people or different country people?
Oh yeah, I mean I've studied and lived overseas, and
Okay.
I've been through all this, and I've
Okay.
made the mistakes. And I do have some hacks, right? First of all, take the earphones out,
Yeah,
put the phone away,
that's the
right?
that's a great
right,
that's a great
and
advice.
be present,
Right.
and read American news. Learn a little bit about American sports, right?
Yeah.
Those are going to be the topic of conversation,
Conversation,
just
yes.
to be those icebreakers.
Right.
If you're ever in doubt and you're in the United States, if you're ever in Cleveland, if you want to start, if you want to start a conversation, talk about the weather.
Weather, yes, you have to start with the
Those
weather.
are the icebreakers. That leads to friendships, and that's you start to build out your local network.
Right,
Those would be
right,
my
right.
kind of quick hack.
What's the one habit Indian students should build from day one at CSU?
They should what from day one?
Yeah, habit. What habit they have to
They
form?
should break.
break. Yeah.
Oh, I think just look. I think through no fault of their own, the Indian students can be a little shy.
Yeah.
Just trust themselves. They've done a lot to get to the United States, right? The
Right.
planning, the studying, and they're just and the excitement. So I think have confidence and don't try and do it all in one day.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Be patient with yourself. You got a couple years, and you don't have to
Rush.
rush through it. So I think just to maybe just be patient with themselves, and confident that they're going to be very successful.
Wow, that's amazing tips and great advice from
Okay.
Tom. Now, as you, I think you spoke about the clubs, on-campus clubs,
Yeah, lots
on-campus
of them.
community, right? Like as a Indian students, we are full of celebration. We have a lots of festival in India. Now, any international students, maybe Indian students traveling to Cleveland State University.
Yeah.
How about the culture and how about the clubs? You guys have an Indian club? You guys are celebrating the Indian festival like Holi and Diwali?
We do Holi, we do Diwali, we do Chinese New Year, right? We take it to baseball games.
Okay.
We take it to the campus sports games, right? I think the American college experience is being there on the campus.
Okay.
Whether it's a government club, sure there is the Indian Society, a fantastic recreation center. 2 years ago, we started a cricket club. Right?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So
Everybody loved it.
we do box cricket indoors in the wintertime, and then we kind of move outside. We don't have an oval yet, but we're getting there.
Okay.
Right? But it's not just playing the sport, it's showing all the matches. Right? And this is how you build community.
Community.
You get Pakistani, Indian, Australian students
Yeah.
watching, a test
A
match.
test match.
Or
Okay.
even one-day cricket. It's amazing.
Right.
So this all happens again on the campus.
Wow. So I think there is a vibrant and dynamic community you
Yeah.
have on campus, right?
Welcoming, friendly, and curious.
Curious.
So
Okay.
even the domestic students are showing up to our cricket club events.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's
Great,
great. It's
great. Now you have mentioned about on-campus living, okay, and lots of parents and student always have a concern about what is the difference between on-campus housing and off-campus housing, and what benefits students are getting if they live on campus. So can you give us a clear differentiation between on-campus housing and off-campus housing, and what are the advantage students are getting by having on-campus house,
Yeah.
and what they are not getting by having a off-campus housing?
Yeah, I mean, you want students to be successful academically, especially the first semester. That's important, that you're off to a good start, right? And living on campus, you're going to be walking distance to the university, to your classes. You're going to be present for those clubs and activities. Because if you have to, if you're off campus and you're maybe half an hour, even an hour away, you're probably not going to be, making use of the opportunities on the campus. That's one, right? Two, our housing is modern. It's clean. It's great infrastructure. Wi-Fi is there. You don't have to worry about bills and a lease. All these things that are kind of complicated if you're living off campus, right? So I think you're just near the experience. It's walking distance to the city of Cleveland, so it saves you money even getting around, right? And then you're also providing yourself more of an opportunity to meet other students.
Wow.
To meet faculty, to have that last minute meeting with a professor, because you're right there on campus and you're not in a rush to get home.
Okay.
So that's I think are the main advantages.
Okay, wow. Now, as you mentioned about the transportations, can you share a little bit more about how the transportation system at Cleveland State University, and if any student would like to travel for grocery or maybe park or maybe a medical center, how's the transportation system at Cleveland State University?
I mean, it's a great question. Cleveland is one of the most walkable cities in the United States.
Okay.
So public transportation if you want to see kind of the suburbs or things outside of the city, then there's great public transportation. There's buses, Ubers, Lyfts, right? There are electric scooters that you can hire as well. But really, most of the students walk because living on campus, and you can walk to class, you can walk downtown, you can walk to the lake. I mean, that is really part of the experience of being in Cleveland. It's the walkability. But also, students at Cleveland State, they get it's only $50 a semester for unlimited bus travel.
Bus traveling. Okay, that's a great.
So if you do need to use the bus, it's very affordable.
Do this before your first CSU class. What's one thing Indian students should do before their first class at Cleveland State University?
They should go to class.
Yeah.
That's the first thing they should do. Because look, I think some Indian students just generally struggle with that importance, right?
Yeah.
They need to know what the syllabus is, what they're being assessed on. And attendance is one of them, right? I would also say be prepared. Do the reading. Come in with your own ideas. Participate, right? That's going to get the professor's attention, and that's actually what you need to do to be successful academically, is to be an active participant in learning. Not a passive learner, an active learner. So get your mindset for that.
Oh, okay. That's a great piece of advice for all the students who are planning for undergraduate study in USA. Now, I think this mistake could ruin your entire life. What one thing Indian students should never do at US University or maybe at the Cleveland State University?
What they shouldn't do is, and this has been a challenge, I think what we're seeing is relying on AI, ChatGPT in particular, for your assignments.
Plagiarism.
Right? Yeah. You can call it plagiarism, you can call it, but that's what I think, especially if you're not confident with your English language, right? You just, and if you need help, if you're not sure about something, Cleveland State has amazing supports. They have a writing center, right? The professors have office hours. Go and talk to them, right? Use those resources. We keep talking about how expensive universities are in the United States. Well, use the resources that are there for you to support you in your academics.
Right.
So I'd say, just to answer your question really simply, just make sure the work you submit is your own work.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's all about the assignment, because we have seen lots of students are copy and paste the assignment from other students, or maybe they're seniors and they just got into trouble and they are getting they are not getting the good grades, or sometimes I think US universities are very strict on the plagiarism.
Sure.
I think if you are doing this mistake, it's going to ruin your life for sure. Don't do this mistake when you are going for when you are going to USA for educations. Now let's talk about on-campus job, okay?
Yeah.
Because internet, you know that undergraduate very costly, and parents and all parents always concerned about the costing,
Sure.
right? Now, what kind of on-campus jobs available at Cleveland State University?
Yeah, well, your first priority is academics, right? So that needs to be the mindset as well. And that first semester is about settling in, getting used to the culture, the system, making new friends. There's a lot going on. So think about an on-campus job from your second semester, right? Plenty of jobs on campus. You can probably earn roughly $200 a week, right? They're not a guaranteed job. You have to be competitive. You have to apply, and we help you. We point you in the right direction. We bring the on-campus job employers to orientation to meet the students, right? But we got jobs on campus. It might be at the stadium, might be in the hospitality services, parking services, the recreation center, right? And some of our students work in security,
Okay.
right?
So there is a tons
a
of
variety.
on-campus jobs, right? There's a
Yeah.
tons of on-campus job.
Pardon?
There is a tons of on-campus job.
Loads. And I think the majority of the on-campus jobs are being done by our students that are international students.
Yeah. Okay. Now, the question I would like to ask you on behalf of parents, they always concern about research assistantship and teaching assistantship.
Yeah.
Does your university provide teaching assistantship and research assistantship? And if your university is providing, what will be the criteria to getting TA and RA at your university?
Yeah, I mean, again, the first semester is about settling in.
Yeah,
and
first semester
learning.
was settling. Yeah.
So I wouldn't be even thinking about that pre-departure. I wouldn't be contacting departments for these kind of opportunities, right? But it'd be based on your performance in your first semester.
Yes.
If you do well, you get good grades. As I said, you're showing up to class, you're participating, you're going into office hours, you're building that relationship with the professor. Sure, you'll look at your past academic record, but these positions are about the present.
Okay.
Right? So you prove yourself in that first semester. We get plenty of students that are teaching assistants. These are at the graduate level, but in their second, third, and fourth semester. Right?
Okay. Yes.
So yeah, high possibility that the student that is doing the work, showing up, will be a great candidate for a teaching assistantship.
Okay. Now, this question is on behalf of parents.
Yeah, love it.
Because
Yeah.
lots of parents have a female, or you can say about female kids, okay? Or female child.
Yeah.
Now, they always concern about the safety and security at United States. And
Sure.
now, what measure you guys are taking to safety and security of the international student at Cleveland State University?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I think it all starts with safety. So our housing has 24/7 security, CCTV cameras. It's in a safe walking distance to the campus. There's 24/7 security on campus. Students can request an escort from the Cleveland State University Police. So it's a very safe campus. The housing is very safe. However, it is an urban area, and you don't want to be all by yourself late at night in certain parts of the city, just like you wouldn't want to be in certain parts of Mumbai, Hyderabad, or Bangalore, right?
Yeah.
So we do have instruction, and as part of orientation is how to be safe in the United States, how to report a crime, right? And I think students will find that the Cleveland State University Police Force is extremely friendly, approachable, and contactable. So I think, it's a very safe campus experience.
Okay. I think that's a great piece of advice for the students and parents if you are trying to send your kids, specifically a female or your daughter, to United States, I think Cleveland State University providing the amazing security measure at the university. Now, what? Okay. Now, how Indian parents prepare their kids for the U.S. visa interview?
Well, I think the main thing is if they speak English, talk English. Mom and dad, brothers and sisters, all your friends. Watch American movies, American television shows, right? So I think just being supportive of that, right? And I think also just being informed, right?
Right.
Look at the best news sources,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And because students need their parents, the parents are part of this journey.
Yes.
The parents are, they're right there as the best cheerleaders in this. So
Yes.
being supportive, and it's okay to miss your kid.
Yes.
That's okay.
Yes, that's
but also
okay.
you're going to have to let them go.
Let
So
them go.
I'd say, maybe don't send instant messages every day, but maybe schedule a time
Schedule
during the
it.
week where you can be homesick.
Yes.
And again, plan that. Because what I've seen some parents, whether it's Indian or American parents,
American parents, yes. They are
being a
concerned.
little bit maybe being a little too involved and not letting the students be present
Present. Yes.
on
yes.
campus. So I think, be there for the students, but also let them be free to not be in contact every once in a while. That's, that's what I would
I
say.
think there's a great piece of advice I can
Okay,
say about
yeah.
it. Okay, now let's move to the grad program, because India is all about grade program, and currently we have seen that the lots of students are taking a grade program at Cleveland State University.
Yeah.
In your according to yourself, what is the top 3 grade program at your university?
Well, it's myself, but also the stats show it, right? So
Yeah.
look, out of India, Masters of Computer Science, fantastic department, fantastic program. Second is Masters of Information Systems, which is again run in the School of Business. So, but that combines information, technology, and business, right?
Okay.
And the third would be Mechanical Engineering.
Mechanical engineering.
Mechanical, and yeah, in recent years, a lot of students have been in our mechanical engineering program. Maybe a close fourth, is also civil engineering.
Civil engineering. Okay.
So computer science, Masters of Information System, mechanical engineering would be our top 3.
Okay, the students, if you like to apply to Cleveland State University, top 3 program, MS in Computer Science, Information System, Mechanical Engineering, and if you want to know more about it, comment Cleveland into chat box, and we will provide you entire detail in your DM, and application fees is free of cost. So that means you can apply with us free of cost at the Cleveland State University. Now, let's talk about the requirement for Master of Science in Computer Science. What will be the graduate admission requirement for computer science?
Well, it's roughly equivalent of 65%, right?
Okay, okay.
Or 6.5 in the CGPA, but 6.0 IELTS or equivalent, okay? And I think to be successful at Cleveland State in computer science is to have your bachelor's in computer science as well.
Okay.
Because we are seeing students with an ECE degree out of India,
Yes.
just not doing well with computer science because
Okay.
it's not really equivalent. I would recommend if you have an ECE bachelor's, think about the Masters of Information Systems,
Okay.
right? So
Okay.
because if you have an ECE in India and you do computer science at Cleveland State, you're going to be assigned prerequisites.
Okay.
Okay, but if you want to avoid those prereqs, Master of Information System, you won't have any prereqs with a good ECE degree.
Oh, okay. It's about ECE, electrical.
ECE bachelor's degree,
Okay,
electronic
okay,
communication engineering. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And does your university accept 15 years of education?
No, we don't. No. Sorry, I had to look offset there, but no. So we need students with a 4-year bachelor degree at the
Bachelor
moment.
degrees. Okay. Now, let's talk about the healthcare program. Does your university providing any master healthcare program?
At the moment, we don't know.
Okay.
No.
Okay, fine. And how about the law program? Does your university providing any law program?
Not for international students, we don't. No.
Okay. Fine.
Nor an MBA either. So if that's your next question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now let's talk about the US visa interview. In Trump 2.0, everyone is concerned about the US visa interview.
Sure.
And we have seen the disaster in the spring 2025 intake, lots of US student visa got rejected. Like, can you give us some insight, like, what is the top three reason for US student visa rejections for Indian students?
Well, we need always the best students possible, right? So students need to be genuine about their intent of studying in the United States. They need to be prepared to communicate why they want to do a certain degree at a certain university. I think it's their communication style, right? Because look, you're nervous.
Yeah.
You're going for a visa interview at a foreign government's office.
Yes.
And all you got is 3 or 4 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So I think, we need to continue to send the best students academically, but also with their ability to articulate the reasons for coming to the United States when they're asked that question,
Okay.
right? So I think just being prepared for that question, and you should be good to go.
Okay. How can Indian student make a strong first impression at the US visa interview? Impress the visa officer in the first 30 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, greet them confidently, make good eye contact, right? And for example, if you're coming to do a degree in nursing, you can say, I'm choosing to go to Cleveland State because of the Cleveland Clinic, and it's a great healthcare system. I like the placement that I'll get from the program in the hospital, where I'll get patient-to-patient contact, right? And I know that Cleveland State has a very high placement rate after I get the degree. But they need to focus on the academic reasons,
Yes.
not about the work and post-degree reasons, right?
Yeah.
So those jobs aren't going anywhere.
Right. Like like how they can explain about the academic or.
Yeah, just has some knowledge about the program, the coursework. I want masters. I'm doing a master's of computer science. It's a highly ranked program, and I want to focus on artificial intelligence. Right? That's a good, concise, clear answer of why you want to choose that particular institution.
Okay, yeah. Now your body speaks louder than your words at the visa interview. What's the role of confidence and body language during the US visa interview?
Well, as I said, make really good eye contact, be polite, right? And comply with any question. If they ask you to hand over your documents, have them ready to go.
No, sometimes lots of students lots of students come to us, and they are also informing us that we are greeting the visa officer, but they are not greeting back.
Yeah.
If we are greeting them with the good morning or good afternoon, they are not greeting back. It's showing a negative sign or.
Yeah. Well, I would say don't take it personally.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
These visa officers are doing this again and again and again.
Right.
They have to be professional.
Yes.
They have to be, they can't show any favoritism.
Right.
So,
right.
yeah, just try and take the emotion out of it.
Right.
It's very difficult.
Very difficult, right.
Very difficult.
Yes.
And just treat it, as an exercise that is run by a government agency.
Yeah.
That's what it
true.
is.
Yeah. I think that's a great advice. Like, take it very lightly. I think lots of times students are just getting concerned, like if the visa officer is not greeting, it doesn't mean that your visa is getting rejected.
No, but I understand that. I can see that. Yeah.
Nail the why this university question with the golden formula. How should student answer why this university question, and how effectively they can answer this question?
Yeah, that is definitely going to come up. Just know the program, right? Know what is the coursework involved, why you're interested in that, right? And really speak from the heart. This is your dream. This is your passion, right? We all know that the United States has opportunity.
Yeah.
So I would avoid that, right? I would say this is my passion to study this, and the coursework that is available at Cleveland State University is the coursework that I've always wanted to pursue, and I can't get this type of experience in my home country.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
I think
that-
that will be ideal answer, I can say.
I
Okay.
mean, I hope so,
Yeah.
but it is very subjective, and you have to present that in a confident, calm manner. Yeah.
Right, right. Do test score matter to visa officer? Do visa officer care about your GRE, TOEFL, IELTS, Duolingo examinations during the visa interview?
I mean, no. I mean, they just want to see how you're presenting, right? I think, a student with a 6.0 IELTS or equivalent should be able to have that kind of a conversation. But no, they're not looking at the, like a mark sheet or all of your scores,
Okay,
right?
okay.
They're, I think you have to understand, the process. And it is, it's really that first impression. And you got to nail that first question, as
Right.
we just discussed.
Okay. Lots of students ask me if I am giving the Duolingo examinations. Does US visa does US embassy accept it? Or maybe if I give Duolingo examination, there will be high chance of visa rejection. What is the truth behind it?
Yeah, well, Duolingo served a purpose during COVID, where
Okay.
you could do the assessment without coming into a testing center, and you could do it online, relatively cheap. But we moved on from that. At Cleveland State, I can speak to the data that we have seen. Visa rejection rates are higher with students who have taken Duolingo.
Okay.
All right. Academic success rates are lower with students who have done Duolingo.
Duolingo. Okay.
So even though they are that test is accepted by most universities, at this stage in particular, there's going to be more scrutiny
Okay.
over the process in Trump 2.0.
Okay.
So I would highly recommend students doing IELTS or TOEFL or
TOEFL.
PTE,
All right, check.
and shy away from a Duolingo at the moment.
At the moment, okay. What should student never say during the visa interview?
I'm coming for a job.
Okay.
I'm coming to work.
Okay.
I'm coming to visit my family in the United States, right? You just need to show that your intent is genuine, that you're coming to study, and eventually you're going to be returning to your home country.
Okay, okay, great. Vague answer is equal to red flag. What are the consequences of giving a vague or memorized answer at the visa interview?
I mean, I'm not a visa officer, I can't really speak to those specifics. But again, it's just you need to be genuine and true in your intent to come into the United States.
Okay, okay. Yeah, because sometimes we heard that visa officer is rejecting the visa without listening to them. Listening to them, what could be the reason?
That's a hard one to answer.
Yeah.
I would like to think that every student would be listened to. And if they find themselves in that situation, to be calm, to be polite, and to continue to present yourself in the most genuine way.
Okay, okay. Now, what advice would you give to a student who have been who have been rejected once or twice?
I would say work on your communication. Work on your English. If you have a 6.0 IELTS, the next time around, go for that 7.
Okay.
Right? It's really coming down to communication at that stage.
Okay. What other things they are looking at the candidate during the visa interview?
Yeah, I really can't speak to that with any,
Yeah, we are not a
specificity.
lawyer, but it's just about the
Yeah.
experience. Like maybe you have met lots and lots of students during your past journey, and maybe you have a couple
Yeah.
of story to share with our students, because sometimes all the students are throwing a different story, unique story. Any story you remember?
Yeah, I know you need as much information to help prepare the students to get them through with the visa. I only see in my job the students who get through, right? Because I'm on campus, right? So I just kind of see the success stories, and we have so many good students.
Okay.
So many success stories
Right,
from
right.
all over India.
Wow,
Right?
wow.
So I really don't have much engagement directly with kind of the process beforehand.
Okay, okay.
But I can tell the students who do get through say that it's because I had good communication skills.
Okay.
That's what they would say.
Yeah. Okay. Now, as you, I have a few questions regarding the professor, right?
Yeah,
And what
yeah.
kind of professors Cleveland State University has, and
Yeah, sure.
what kind of funding they are holding, and how they are supporting international students?
Yeah, I mean, the majority of professors at Cleveland State University have a PhD in their field of expertise. They are very dedicated to the students. The student to teacher ratio is 1 to 25.
Okay. That's
Okay.
pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, the professors at Cleveland State, they're very student focused. That's where it all begins, right? And I think that's a strength that students need to consider. That they're going to be there in their office hours. They're going to be responsive if students have questions. And yes, they will have research funding opportunities
Okay.
for students that maybe want to pursue a PhD, right? So those students, I think, are going to get more attention for any kind of funding that professor has. But they're approachable, they're kind, and students need to use them as a resource for their learning,
Okay.
not as someone that they need to avoid in the hallways. Right? 'Cause
Yes.
if you see them in the canteen, if you see them in the hallways, say hello, introduce yourself, right?
Okay.
So I think they're very approachable.
Wow, that's a great,
Yeah.
great advice. I think students, if you are planning to study in USA, this podcast is going to be a fabulous for each and everyone, because the information which you are getting is amazing. How you can communicate with the professor, whether professor are approachable or not, how to talk to American people, how to
Right.
talk to your classmate, how to start communication, how to build up friends. I think this is going amazing.
And we provide all that in our orientation.
Okay.
And we have online content, if they want to go back to it, that Shorelight provides students in our Center
Yes.
for Academic Success.
Yes, yes,
We
yes.
talk about how to meet American friends,
Yeah.
how to write an email, how to talk to a
Talk to
professor,
professors. Yeah.
right? So that's part of the support that we give each and every student.
Wow, and if you are looking for that support and the PDF and all the details, comments Cleveland into chat box and we will provide you entire detail. Now, let's talk about backlogs. Do you guys accept the backlogs for the master's program or grade program?
Yeah, we accept unlimited backlogs,
Okay.
but let's be reasonable.
Yeah.
Let's be reasonable.
Reasonable,
guys,
yeah.
Okay, that is, but if you're bringing in 25, 30 backlogs, yes, you can
Yes,
apply.
you can apply.
Yes, you
I
can,
think-
and we will support you just the same.
Yeah.
But I just think you need to be, asking yourself,
Asking you-
is this what I really want to do? Okay. But look, there are a lot of reasons for backlogs.
Yeah.
And especially coming out of the
With a
COVID
genuine
times.
reason, yeah.
I mean, this this cohort of student, they've been through COVID, they have family issues and things. There's a big election here in India recently that really took a lot of attention away, maybe
Yes.
from the studies.
Studies, yeah.
So look, there are a lot of reasons for backlogs, and Cleveland State takes unlimited backlogs.
Oh, okay. I think that's a great advice. Student, if you have a reasonable backlog and if you like to apply to Cleveland State University, we will definitely love to support you. And if you want to apply to Cleveland State University for fall 2025 intake, you still have a chance. Comment Cleveland into chat box and we will provide you entire detail in your DM. Now, walk me through the step-by-step process to applying to the Cleveland State University.
Well, you first have to make the application. Well, first get your English language testing, have all your documents ready to go, and then make an application. You'll get a conditional offer letter in 1 or 2 days, right? And then you'll be asked then to make the deposit,
Okay.
right? And it's $500, which is totally refundable if the visa is rejected.
Okay.
All right, so there's little risk there. Then once the deposit is made, you get the final offer letter, followed by the I-20. Right, so that I-20, it's a 15 working day turnaround
right.
at Cleveland State.
Okay.
So that's kind of the process. Get it in early. If you get it in by April 30th, I know we're getting close to that. You'll be in line, and eligible for consideration of a scholarship. So that's part of that process as well too. So
Okay.
you need to make that application before your scholarship opportunity can be assessed.
Wow. Wow.
Okay?
Okay. Great. Now, what is the difference between conditional offer letter and unconditional offer letter?
Well, I mean, the conditional offer letter is just kind of acknowledging that you've been accepted, and the next step is to make the deposit. So,
Okay.
yeah, we don't have unconditional offer letters.
Okay.
It's just the step before the final offer letter.
Oh, okay. It's a step
Okay.
before the final offer
Yeah.
letter. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Now, can you give me a top three skills international students require to be successful in US?
Yeah, well, again, a lot of these skills that I don't think students realize are skills. You need to have curiosity with the world and their place in the world. That's
Okay.
one. Good organization skills, right? That means you're going to be a good student. You're going to be able to manage the time that of your studies, clubs and societies, cooking,
Yeah.
all
that's
this kind
true.
of stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Organizing the skill. Yeah.
Yeah, and patience. You don't got to do this all in one day. You know, you got there. You made it. As we've been discussing, we're talking about some seriously intense processes.
Intense processes. Yes.
You're going to get through it.
Right.
You know, and once you're there, and I'm talking to you in orientation, trying to make you laugh, you know, making you feel at ease and comfortable, that's when the patient needs to, the patient skill needs to kick in. And this is just the beginning.
Right.
That's what I
right.
would say.
Yeah. What are the top three skills international students require to get a job in multinational company at US?
Yeah, I mean, first, the priority has to be academics, right? And so I think, having a good academic record, a good, GPA, that's going to set you up for the job. And that's what employers want to see. The GPA isn't necessarily that you're really smart or intelligent, but that you're organized. You're a team player, right?
Right.
And that's kind of how an employer reads the academic performance when they're looking at your transcript, right?
Okay.
You have to work well with others. I mean, that's how a lot of work in the modern workplace is. It's teamwork.
Teamwork,
It's
right.
group work. So you need to demonstrate that maybe, you worked in a club or society on campus. You ran a sports club, right? You can work with others. Maybe that can show leadership skills. Again,
Right,
that's another skill, right? So, and that's why, it's one thing to say, hey, I'm a leader.
I'm a leader.
Hey,
yeah.
I can work really well with people.
Well,
You needed to demonstrate that through good academic record. You can show leadership in running a club or society, right? And that has to also then align with your LinkedIn profile,
Thinking
for
profile,
example.
Yes.
If you say you're interested in, you're interested in finance, you better maybe be following some financial news on your
News.
LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
So that also brings into another thing as well that employer is looking at is for authenticity.
Authenticity.
That
Yes.
you are who you say you are.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done lots of hiring, I've lots of
Yeah.
interviews, and I'm sure you have as well.
Yeah.
In running a business, that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's
right.
Yes, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Now, there is lots of question about the internship and co-op.
Yeah.
Like, does your university provide internship and co-op for international students?
Yeah, I mean, we don't provide, but we support.
Yeah. How
right?
how do you
Yeah.
support that? Yeah.
Well, we bring employers to campus, right? I think a really good way to do it as well is to get to know your professors because they know people. Cleveland, like a lot of American cities, it's building out your network,
Right.
who you know.
Right.
That's how you are aware of these opportunities. But then there is the career development office on campus. Students need to go there. They need to
Okay.
use that resource. They have lists and contact information for all the internship, all the co-op opportunities. So again, students just need to be engaging with the local on-campus resources for that kind of thing.
Right. And like, how easily approachable that career services for the international students,
Yeah.
and how they are going to help international students. Like, they are helping in making resume, interview preparations, LinkedIn profile.
All of that. Well, we do that at Cleveland State Global as well, right?
Okay, yeah.
Myself and the staff there have a lot of experience in career coaching
Okay.
and preparing students for the job market, right?
Yes.
So we do offer free career development seminars on the campus.
Okay.
Right? So we do that, but also the career development office at Cleveland State University is very approachable. I think the most of their work is supporting the international student. That's what they tell us, right?
Right.
But yeah, they help them with the resume writing, but also to connect them to the professional work network
Right.
throughout Northeast Ohio.
Okay. Now, whenever I'm doing podcast with any international recruiter or maybe a top associate director of recruitment, everyone is talking about networking,
Yeah.
networking.
Yeah.
Now, student always asking me how to do networking,
Yeah.
what to do in networking.
Great questions. I mean, I'm still asking myself that question, right?
Wow.
So we look. It's ongoing. It's being confident, and part of studying abroad and being away is to extend your comfort zone, and you're going to have to do that. And I'm going to be encouraging you to do that.
Okay.
Right? I'm going to bring you in if you have any issues or if you me to speak in a larger group, which I do. It just starts with hello. My name is.
Okay.
Right?
Wow.
And we have networking events on campus where we bring employers to campus to meet the students, but also through our student service supports through CSU Global, we make students aware of networking opportunities.
Wow.
Local
Okay.
businesses have meet and greets, right? Local job seeker support groups publicize opportunities for students in the Cleveland area to come in and meet employers.
Wow. Okay.
Because Cleveland needs immigrants.
Immigrants. Okay.
Cleveland needs the skills that our students are acquiring from CSU. And we just set up opportunities for students to present themselves.
Okay, I think that's a great way to start networking for all the international students.
Yeah.
Now India is all about food. You will see lots of different cuisine if you are traveling across the India.
Yeah.
And we Indian called as a foodie as well.
Yeah.
Like how about the Indian restaurant at Cleveland? Means you guys have an Indian restaurant at Cleveland State University or maybe in the Ohio? And how about the groceries? Because Indian students are most preferably having vegetarian options. Like does your university or does the Ohio or Cleveland has a facility of vegetarian grocery or maybe Indian foods?
Yeah, I'm surprised there's any food left after I've been here. I've eaten everything in
Everything.
India. Everything I've eaten.
Yes.
So I don't think there's any food left in all of India
Which one do
after
you
my
like?
visit. Well, dal makhani is my favorite.
Dal makhani
even
is
though that's
favorite.
Northern Indian. I know
Northern
that we're in
Indian, yes.
Gujarat,
Gujarat,
right?
yeah.
But a dokla is...
Dokla.
A dokla, every... masala, a dosa.
Masala dosa.
So
yes, South
look,
Indian, yes.
I've been eating my way through India,
Wow.
right? Which has been fantastic.
Fantastic, yes.
So look, on campus, there in the canteen, there's an Indian restaurant.
Okay.
Veg, non-veg.
Okay.
Right? Fantastic. There's Asian food, Italian food, right? Cleveland is a very ethnically diverse city. So it has a strong established Indian population. There are Asian stores, Indian stores, where you can get all the spices, ingredients
Wow.
that you need. And that's how the students build community. They go to the shop, they get the ingredients, come back and they cook,
Yeah.
right?
I did the
So,
same thing.
and that's not a problem. So I want to encourage, especially students from Gujarat, where the vegetarian option is needed.
Is needed, yeah.
Cleveland is a foodie capital as well.
Oh, okay.
All right?
Okay.
So vegetarian and vegan options are all over the place.
All over the place. Right. Now, let's talk about the future. Maybe you are discussing with your graduate department or maybe
Yeah.
different people.
Yeah.
How the future look like and what will be the top 3 future technology which is going to
Yeah.
change the entire ecosystem after 5 years or 10 years.
Yeah, we're in very interesting times.
Yeah.
Politically, socially, economically.
Economically, technically as well.
And that's why I love my job. That's why we love what we
Love
do.
what we
It's
do,
always
yes.
changing. We're
Changing.
always overcoming
Overcoming
challenges.
yes.
So, look, I mean, for the next couple years, I think everyone is talking about, and I agree, it's artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence, yeah.
AI is changing everything.
It's changing everything. Yeah.
You know, I would also will look at how finance is changing, cryptocurrency.
Cryptocurrency, yes.
It's-
Financial technology is also booming nowadays.
and that's very closely related to that, right? And you know, we still need to pay attention to how this tariff war is
yes.
kind of going to play out,
Play out,
right?
yeah.
So how that's going to affect supply chains, and if a lot of businesses are returning to the United States, like was the intention of the current administration,
Right.
that's going to impact who is trading with who.
Trading with who,
Is
yes,
India going to
yes.
be looking to the east? Is it going to be looking to the European Union?
Yes.
So those are kind of questions that are unresolved right now. But I can tell you for sure, you're going to need a degree to be successful in whatever you do.
Right.
And whether that's at Cleveland State or any other amazing universities across the United States, that's going to set you up to be able to anticipate and also be resilient to deal with any
Right.
challenges.
Right.
I mean, in the year 2019, I didn't think there was going to be a pandemic. Did you?
No idea about it.
And that changes everything.
Changes everything, yes.
So, you know, that's why education, travel, curiosity, those are the skill sets that are going to set you up to deal with any challenge in the future.
Right. And there is lots of panic is going in India nowadays, and a fear as well that US is going to close the door for international student.
Yeah.
What is a fact?
No. The United States needs
Yes.
these students. They need good students, capable students.
Okay.
Right? I can tell you that, you know, my state, especially in the IT sector, has around 13,000 jobs that are open.
Wow.
Because Americans aren't doing these degrees, right? So, you know, it's work hard, get your, you know, communication skills up, and you're going to be very successful. But we do need to keep our eye on things,
Yeah.
right? And we need to inform ourselves with the best news and information sources,
Yes.
right?
Yes, that's true.
And that's why we're important.
Yeah.
That's
why
why
we are
we're.
important,
This is
yeah.
why our partnership,
Partnership,
is
yes,
extremely
extremely
important,
important, yes.
to give the parents and the
And
students,
students the real informations.
yeah, and confidence.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
And also, people are talking about in Trump 2.0, there will be a high visa rejection, and
Yeah.
student is not going to travel to USA, and
Yeah.
lots of misconception is going on. Can you clear it out with your experience, or maybe you can give some motivation to students, like how they can react in this situation?
Yeah, I mean, we've been in this sector for quite
a
some
long
time.
time,
We
yeah.
know there are
We
ups
know
and
there are ups and
downs.
downs, yeah.
You know, we know that there was a huge demand after COVID,
Yeah.
and we're kind of dealing with that. We still need to get the best students, right? And that's kind of what it all comes down to. The student who is hardworking, is genuine. Any country wants those students.
Yes, that's
and I think that's what we're seeing right now. And that's what we need to continue to inform the students and set them up for the best possible success. So there were visa rejection rates before Donald Trump's administration. So,
yeah.
you know, the whole world is going through some changes. I mean, there are challenges in every English-speaking destination,
Destination, yes,
whether it's
yes.
Canada limiting the number of students, the
Australia
UK is
limiting
limiting job opportunities.
opportunity.
So the United States is still the best option for anyone in the world to come and do any type of a degree.
Yeah.
That's
And
my opinion.
Yeah, during our conversation, you mentioned a lot about the base student. What do you mean by best student?
Best students?
Yeah.
Well, one that is just genuine, is hardworking, that can show that they have the communication ability to be successful.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say the best student is one who's not working to the minimum. Yeah, we take a 6.0 IELTS, try and get a 6.5.
Okay.
Push yourself.
Push yourself, right.
Yeah.
Okay. And in Trump 2.0, I think you were staying in US, and you are roaming around the street, maybe you are traveling all around the world.
Yeah.
Currently, what is the situation at USA? In USA, international students are in fear, or they are under the trauma. What is the actual situation? What is the actual situation?
I mean, yeah, there's I really can't speak too much about that because it's new and it's changing. But if students are genuine with their intent and they're prioritizing their studies, they're not going to have any problems.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the genuine students,
Yeah.
I seems there will be no problem at all.
That would be my, experience.
Experience, right?
Yeah,
right.
yeah. But and that's the intention of what's currently happening is to ensure students are in the United States for the right reasons, and that's to study.
Right. And the last question from my side, like, well, how about the employability at the Cleveland State University?
Yeah.
And what will be the employment rate for grad student as well as for the undergrad students?
Yeah, well, again, we're talking about STEM designated
STEM designated
degrees, right?
degree,
Which
yes.
allows you to
Having a 3-year
work
work
for 3
permit.
years. Non-STEM, you can still work for one.
4 year, yeah.
So let's not, forget about the
Forget
non-STEM. I mean, I'm an historian. I'm from the humanities,
Oh,
so
okay.
I got to speak up for that as well. So those are great opportunities too. But as I said earlier, Cleveland State University is a top 100 OPT placement rate
Wow.
in the whole United States. Look it up.
Wow.
It's out there. I was pleasantly surprised when I saw that before I came to India. So I would say, if you get the good grades, you're networking, right? You're keeping up with your CV, you're putting your hand up in class, you're actively learning, you're going to be set up for an amazing opportunity for OPT.
Wow, I think that's a great piece of advice. If I can summarize this podcast, in this podcast we learn a lot. We learn about how to be how to crack the US visa interview. What are the things you need to take care when you are traveling to US, specifically Cleveland State University? What is the English language requirement at Cleveland State University, and how do you get the scholarship? What amount of scholarship you are eligible for? Like nursing, can you do a nursing without maths at US? Definitely you can do it. What are the top program at the Cleveland State University? I think in summary, I can say that this is a best podcast for all the students who are planning to study in USA. Hello, namaste. Welcome to Abroad Gnan Guru podcast, and this is the amazing information we are going to share today. We have an amazing guest on my podcast, Mr. Tom Kelley. He is an associate operation director at the Cleveland State University Global, associated with the Shorelight, right? And he has amazing information about the Cleveland State University. The students, if you are planning to study in USA, this is the must go podcast for you. If you are parents and planning to send your kids to USA, and if you have a daughter and planning to send your daughter to USA and you are concerned about the safety and security, I think we have covered everything in this podcast. If you are students and planning for US student visa interview, and if you are curious what kind of question you are getting, how to answer those questions, this part is also covered in this podcast. I must say this is the must watch podcast for all the students, all the parents who are planning to study in USA. And also, if you would like to do a nursing in US without maths, this is the amazing programming, amazing information is coming in this podcast. So please watch this podcast and till the end, because you will get lots and lots of information. Also, there is one humble request I would like to have. Please sit with the pen and paper, because we are discussing lots of things about the Cleveland State University requirement, what skills are required, what are the top 3 program, because it is going to help you to short down your best program, right? And at the end, thank you so much for your love and support and the subscriber which we are getting on our channel. And let me know if you are looking, also please comment which other university you want to see on my podcast, because we are bringing lots and lots of universities on our podcast and trying to solve your problem, trying to solve the parents' problem. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. The amazing program is just waiting for you. Welcome, Tom, on my podcast. And Abroad Gnan Guru, we are sharing lots and lots of information about the abroad educations. And also today we are going to share about the Cleveland State University, which is a fantastic university in the Gujarat market and most affordable university I can say about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very happy to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.